the families involved with the farming operation are my dad, Daryl, my brother, Zach, and myself, Brandon. It's Honeycutt Farms. All of us are married. Between my brother and I, we have, 11 kids now?
11.
11 kids, and so we've got the next generation coming along. Been in the family for well over 100 years.
I know there's been kind of a history of innovation. One cool story I found out about great-grandpa Honeycutt. During the 30s, he had an electric windmill generator set up on their house. They actually had electric lights and stuff in the farmhouse way before the rural areas were electrified. So it's kind of neat to see that kind of stuff. That we're trying new things. That's not that's not something we just came up with. Our ancestors have been trying that stuff too.
My great-great-great-grandpa Johann, when he started here, he came over from Germany in 1870 and he started farming here. And he lived, I believe it's 3 miles south and a mile east of here. But it was really incredible what he was able to do. He started homesteaded with one quarter section or 160 acres of ground. And by the time he passed away, he had 8 quarter sections of ground and he had 8 kids. So he gave each kid a quarter section of ground. Since then, that was a long time ago in the family tree, so it's been split up by people, moving away and selling and whatnot. But we still, my dad still own and farm the original sod house where he homesteaded. So
I think that's one of the things that we've talked about over time, is just that the family heritage is trying different new things, innovating new things, whatever that might be, whether it's irrigation, whether it's whatever the next phase is in agriculture. And so it's been passed down from generation to generation without even thinking about it. It's just kind of, I guess, in our DNA and in our structure of who we are.
I'd say one of the main things we've changed is we went from Grandpa, when he started farming, most everyone, they call it conventional tillage, or they would till the ground once or twice before planting and then cultivate it during the season. And the crops, they did really good in that conditions, but at the same time we get a fair amount of rainfall around here. And with the hills, that actually causes a lot of extra erosion, which is water washing the soil down the hill, and with the soil goes the nutrients that the crops need. So now we do, they call it no-till, which means we don't disturb the ground at all, other than having our planter go through and put the seeds in the ground. And then the ground, we use herbicides with our sprayer to control the weeds, and the soil doesn't get disturbed, and it's actually a lot healthier because of it.
So it's been fun to see going from the big giant equipment that seemed big and giant when I was 3 to going now to things that are a lot more automated and a lot more precise and better suited to have a sustainable process in the future.
Yeah, I mean, we're all open to new ideas. We don't have anyone that's kind of stuck in our ways, but we're not reckless, and we don't want to just try everything. We're going to discuss and debate it a lot and figure out what fits best into our operation. And we kind of pick up bits and pieces here and there, like he was saying, at conferences and other places. We can do some learning. So, we eventually kind of come to a consensus, I guess. We don't have, it's not just, all right, here it is, boom, go, now do it. It's usually a long conversation. And even once we've started implementing things, nothing's ever set in stone. It's still learning as we go.
That part of it has changed, is how many different markets we can actually sell our crops into as we raise them. And that's a consideration in making decisions of what crops to raise, is how are you going to market, where are you going to market it, and of course the price, which one is more profitable, or which one fits. Crop rotation achieves several different things. One is that raising the same crop year after year, you will probably see some decrease in yield, or you could. But that's a possibility. Certain weeds or bugs may get established within those fields when you're raising the same crop all the time. Rotation allows you to put a different crop in there that has maybe a different life cycle as far as when it's planted and when it's harvested. Allows you a choice of using different herbicides or different pesticides to deal with weeds and bugs. And in general, if those things do help for soil quality, how you need to add nutrients to the soil to maximize your yields. There are many sources of information and helps compared to when I started farming. Extension agents, that type of thing was where you got a lot of information from people that from the university or similar situations that would have that knowledge that would pass on to you. Now we have that, plus we have many of the large companies that deal with farming that provide fertilizer or chemicals or machinery. And then today, compared to really not that many years ago, is with the access to the internet and all of the information that's out there. And that is one thing that's as we've trying to convert some ground over to organic, that has sped up that process and the learning processes, because we can go online and look at YouTube videos and information that's out there, and so we can access that information quicker and sort through the information and make decisions based on that.